Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Listen Along, where today we're listening to Somewhere City by Origami Angel, and I am joined by Ryland from Origami Angel. Say hi, Ryland.
Hey, how's it going, y'all?
Yeah, so you can't see him right now, but you can hear him. I'm going to give a little bit of a spiel, and then I'll go to a window where you can actually see him. Because for some reason, at the beginning of these streams, I enjoy keeping my guests in a make-believe zone.
That's where I want to be.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm excited for this. I love this album. If you've never watched any of these before, basically what we're doing is we are listening to the entirety of the record and basically doing an album commentary kind of thing. So I'll get like thoughts and feelings and anecdotes and everything from Ryland. And I generally, like, what I did this stream for is to listen to albums that I love and to introduce them to other people and gush about them. I have been very fortunate due to my like ties to the community and everything to basically almost have the people who created the record on every time I listen to it so far. So that's really wonderful. I'm excited to have Ryland here. I really love Origami Angel. I love Somewhere City. I want to give a quick plug to Gami Gang, their newest record. If you type !listen in the chat, it will bring up links to the Counterintuitive Bandcamp, to their merch page, and also to the Origami Angel Bandcamp. Go check all that stuff out. I'm gonna bring up the image here really quick. This is the image here. So first, again, visit band's website /Bandcamp. Purchase the album and the merch if you can. I encourage you, absolutely. They got shirts and sweatpants and vinyl. Do you still have vinyl, actually?
I think we have a little bit. I'm not so sure.
Y'all sell out vinyl so fast.
It's weird.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if there was very little left. So jump on that if you can, if you want to. And I do say, like, support the Origami Angel and like any band that I have on, like, absolutely monetarily if you can. If you have the means, I encourage you. They have good material for vinyl and merch and everything. I'm wearing an Origami Angel shirt right now, actually.
Oh, thank you. I didn't even realize.
Yeah. It's the fundraiser
so cool.
one that you did that one time?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Michaela drew it. Yeah, it's one of my favorite designs, actually. But I appreciate it. Thank you for
of course. Yeah, so you can purchase stuff right off the bat, or I mean, I suppose if you're concerned about taste, if you've never heard Origami Angel before and you're like, I don't know if I'll like this, that's fine. But if you like it after we're done listening to it and you have the means, you got a little bit of that money, then I suggest purchasing some merchandise or otherwise. Then moving forward, what we're going to do is we're going to open a streaming service, because I will not be playing the album. I won't be playing the music live on stream. Ryland and I will be listening to it independently, but we're going to do a sync so that, like, you can listen to it on your own. I will require you to open a streaming service or have some way to listen to Somewhere City yourself. We'll wait for a 3, 2, 1, go. That will be from me. On go, you will hit play, and hopefully all of us will be in sync. You'll be in sync with me. I'll be in sync with Ryland. Ryland will be in sync with you. It will be a good time. And again, !listen in the chat will bring you to the band camps, the merch page, Counterintuitive, Origami Angel, and all of that business. Okay. With that out of the way, I am going to say hello to some of the people here in chat. We got X Crazy Green says so excited. Logan Melv says !donate, which I don't think we have a thing for that. But Cool Cupcake says let's go. Origami Angel is in there. Dr. Meme, I'm excited. Cool Cupcakes, me too. Yes. Hello, everyone. And we got an ! Listen from Cool Cupcakes. Thank you. Yeah, we got these people in here. Peachy Keen. More tapes, though, says Peachy Keen.
Maybe.
Hey, I'll tell you what. For some reason, tapes are fast to go and hard to come by, because we haven't had tapes for the First Class Beach album in quite a while. And I do get people all the time asking us, they're like, tapes? And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's something it's hard to like cross your mind from the band perspective, but people like them. We obviously did like a ton of tapes earlier when it was like more affordable for us to do that, like more affordable than the vinyl. But yeah, tapes are cool. I think we're gonna make some moves on that.
Hell yeah. Is that for Gami Gang?
I think maybe for both albums.
For both? Wow. Okay. Well,
I'm not gonna make any promises.
Yeah,
but
we're not gonna hold you to it.
I want to, because I like, I like the idea of having tapes in stock. It makes me feel like we're in like a a 90s band, so it's just like a half an hour and an hour or an hour of music on just a tape that you're like, okay, I don't know, it's just like how I feel.
Yeah.
I think it's a similar thing with the first Glass Beach album. It's just like 15 tracks, 1 hour long. It's like it feels like I should listen to it on a tape.
Yeah. Also, Jay and Dax did an amazing job designing our tapes too. Like to the point, I'm not even a tape person, but I saw the design for theirs and I was like, oh my god, I want it. So I feel like, oh, really quick, I'm gonna get the thumbnail for the YouTube VOD, just for myself. Like, okay, I'm excited. It's like, ah. Whoa. Okay, there we go.
Looks
all
perfect.
Right. Nailed it. Okay, back in the chat here. Still need to listen to my Gami Gang vinyl, says Crazy Green. Origami Angel Glass Beach song collab when? Hey, I'm down eventually. We've talked about it before.
That'd be really cool.
It would be amazing. It really would. We're not against it. We encourage it. It's just finding the right time.
Yeah, it's tough where it's just like we all have so many different things, and it's just like, but that should happen. Like it would be a crime if it didn't,
Absolutely. Yeah. And Cool Cupcake says got the Gami sweats. Hell yeah.
I'm wearing those right now, actually. Oliver
Potato, Ayo, where do I get merch for GG for Gami Gang? That's like, yeah, ! Listen, we got it in there. We got I think it's the first link. No, that's the Bandcamp. Hold on. It might be the last link of there are 3 links in the ! Listen. One of them is the merch.
I think it's the middle link is from what I'm seeing from the bot. It's so cool that you have that set up. It's I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Hi Quip Flops. Quip Flops says hello. Morrigan says hi William, your camera's so high quality. WTF. Yeah, thank you. I'm a cinematographer and I'm using my my cinema camera to do live streams.
It looks great. It looks great. I'm embarrassed to show.
No, it's fine. Everything's good. Here, I'll bring you up so everyone can see you. Are you ready?
Cool. I'm absolutely ready.
And we're going to the web browsing page. So this is Origami Angels Bandcamp we got here. You can see Ryland above me in a little circle.
Hello. How many viewers did we just lose?
Wow.
I'm kidding.
Love that classic Gami self-deprecating humor.
Yeah. I'm just getting people ready for, well, I guess not this record, but
no, not this one. Not as much.
Maybe the next one.
Oh yeah, we have so many people in here. Oh my gosh, people show up for Gami, I guess.
I think they're
That's good.
I think they're here for Glass Beach.
Yeah, they're here for me. Oh yeah. Hi everyone. I'm sorry I can't get hi Swamp Child. And do you know the way? Do you know the way? Oh yes, I'm familiar with that meme. I'm familiar with it. But hi, I'm gonna move on now. So this is the Bandcamp where we got a bunch of people coming in here saying, yeah, I love this album. We're stoked. It's going to be good. We gained 8 viewers when Ryland popped up. Hey.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
Maybe I was premature in my self-deprecation. Appreciate it. I'm stoked to listen to this too. It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm stoked. And it hasn't been a while for me. I've listened to it an upwards of like 10 times this past week just for in preparation for this.
Oh, wow. I appreciate it.
I have to. I don't want to like miss out on something that I might want to say, something I might want to appreciate.
I feel that, definitely.
It's my biggest nervousness about doing these streams is that I just say like, I'll be in the middle of it and I'll ask someone a question and it's like it's something that's obvious, and like all the fans in the chat are like, why would you even ask that? It's obvious. And like the artist is like, being nice about it and like, oh yeah, yeah, and like saying that thing. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't do it. Okay, I'm gonna go to the listening screen. Here we go. The overlay that I made for this. Check it out. Have a good time, everyone. Overzealous subscribed to tier 1. Thank you for resubbing. Subbing for Gami, says Austin here. Thanks, Austin. Someone's asking a specific question here in chat to you. Did you ever listen to any Seattle bands? Daphne Loves Derby, This Providence, Forgive Durden?
What's those names are all super familiar. And what's really interesting is one person in Daphne Loves Derby, or like I guess who had toured with them, was actually in our Reddit AMA the other day. And they were like, have you ever, horror bands or heard this scene? And I had like listened to a couple other like emo-ish, pop punkish bands like from that same time period, like early 2000s to mid 2000s, because my cousin was a little bit involved in it. But then I listened to that band and I was like, this sounds familiar in a way. Maybe it's just I'm familiar with that genre because it sounds like a youthful thing to me, but I liked it a lot. And honestly, I think probably I should probably check out some Seattle bands from that era.
Hell yeah. Nean Nikos redeemed our Drink Some Water channel points. So thank you. I will drink some water.
Let's go.
Okay, cool. Well, if you can't stay here for the whole thing, just know that this is going to be up on YouTube. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. But I have an entire playlist on the Second Glass Beach channel on YouTube that has all of the listen alongs that I've done so far. I did Alchemist Rat's Beg Bashful remixes by various artists in Glass Beach. I've done Melee by Dogleg with Dogleg. I did Graceful Rage by Harmony Woods with Harmony Woods. I've done Emphatically No by Cheekface with Cheekface. I did I Became Birds by Home Is Where with Brandon from Home Is Where. I'm probably missing one. Oh, Pink Shift, the last one that we did. Yeah. I did Saccharin with 3 of the 4 members from Pink Shift. That was last week, and all of those are on the Second Glass Beach channel in a playlist called Listen Along, which is where this will go after we are done. This will likely go live on Monday on the YouTube channel, because that's usually like when I do it. So it should be good. Yeah. Oh, someone else. Roster. Yeah. And that's what, you know what? I'll say and then next week, sorry. Next week is next Saturday is Chris Farron, and we're doing Born Hot. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm stoked for that one too. I mean, yeah, I don't know why I keep saying like, "Oh, I'm excited for that." It's like, isn't that obvious? Like that's the point. For this. Yep. So be around for that. And then after that is Rat Boys. So nice. The next Saturday, Chris Farron. Saturday after that, Rat Boys. And then the Saturday after that, I confirmed it, but I kind of wait to double confirm these things before I like say it for sure. So like, I'm gonna say it, but if it doesn't happen, like just know that I didn't double confirm it, and this is my hubris showing right now. So it is Angimile is supposed to be on June 12th, which is very exciting. As are all of them, but and we're going to be covering Give or Taker.
So much cool stuff coming up for you. It's great.
Yeah, I'm stoked. It is really great, and oh my gosh, we have 67 viewers right now.
Oh, sweet,
amazing. Okay, cool. Oh, people are asking. This is a good question, actually. It was one that I was wondering. How long have you been playing guitar, Ryland?
Oh, that's interesting. So I think I like started dabbling in guitar when I was around like 8 or 9. It was funny. It was just like one day. It was just me and my mom, and she had played guitar, like sang songs and stuff like that, and played guitar when she was younger. And I was like, I kind of want to try this, I kind of want to like do this. So she just taught me how to play a D chord when I was around like 7 or 8 or 9, and I just strummed it, and she sang Little Drummer Boy over it, and she's like, now you know how to play a song, because I guess it's one chord.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, that's really cool. And then so my mom kind of started me on that musical journey. And then from that, like she was like, okay, you're getting, okay at this. Maybe we'll get you like a teacher or something like that. And then I started taking guitar lessons from like weird metal dudes in our local area when I was like 10 or 11. But so yeah, it's been around, I guess I just turned 23 last month. So not last month, it's May, right? A couple months ago. Sorry,
we're in pandemic time.
Yeah, it's maybe, yeah, I forget the age sometimes. I'm pretty sure it's 23. I've been saying it's my Michael Jordan year. So so that's how I remember. But so yeah, I guess now that means like someone like 15, 16 years now, right? Am I doing the math right? 3 plus 3 plus 10. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Call it 14 to 16, anywhere in that range, which I guess is a long time now.
Yeah. Damn. I mean, it shows.
Oh, thank you.
It really does. You're an incredible guitarist. Not only technically, but compositionally. I love the way that you write. Thank
you.
I hope you're ready for this. This is going to be what the whole stream is. I am going to say extremely nice things about you.
I'm ready. It's hard, but I'll get myself in that mindset. So this is good preparation.
Okay. Wait, someone is asking your shoe size. You don't have to answer that. Just so you know.
Cool. It's 10 and a half.
Well, mine's 10 there. So now you know both of ours.
Close.
10
It's
and
close.
10 and a half. Last week, when I was talking to Pink Shift, it came up like about how tall they all were, because we met online and like none of us have seen each other in person. So we were discussing like the first time we see each other at a show, it's going to be like hilarious to see how tall we are.
Right. Something you never think about till it's too late, and you're just like, oh wow, this person is actually 6'3".
I'll say this about you: you are about as tall as I was expecting, which is still pretty substantial.
Oh, cool. Like right around 5'11", 6 foot, you know?
Yeah.
That's cool. I like to think that I am a, you know, like a person who is the same height as they portray, you know? Like,
yeah. I've run into a real problem personally because people think that I'm taller than I am. Always.
Oh, no.
Always think I'm taller than I am. So when they meet me, it's like, I can't say it's like, it comes off the same as disappointment, but it isn't. I know they're not like disappointed. It's like
just a little jarring.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. See, that's why it was so much better when we were out here playing shows, meeting for the first time. It wasn't like we had this image of a face in our brain, and then we're like, oh, this person, William, they're probably like 6'4", right? And then you come up and then they're like, you know, I don't know, 5'8", 5'9". You're like, wow. But, you know, it's better like the first time to be, you know, there and you meet, and then everyone's like, okay, that's your height, and remember it for a while.
It is so strange, like, to see someone. I mean, like, I've met people who like I've followed on YouTube for years, and they always look so strange in person. And so like I think the way to do it is like meet them first and then maybe see them on video or whatever, because now like you look like what I expect you to look, even though you're through video. But I feel like if I saw you like this a bunch and then I met you in person, I'd be like, this is weird.
It's different, right? You'd be like, wow, you're not 6'7"?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, there's that person on TikTok who figures out people's heights by like objects in the camera with them or whatever. And like I can just imagine them like being like, okay, that's an SM7B. The dimensions of the SM7B are this. It's like this far in front of you, and it's like the angle of that. Exactly.
Let's go. I'm there for the three-dimensional geometry. I'm there for it.
Someone asked if we have any secrets. I'm just gonna say yes.
Sure.
Almost certainly.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Opinions on the new Blake Shelton album?
Can't say I've listened.
I haven't listened to it.
I can't say I've formulated one yet, but I'll let you know if I do.
Okay, cool. What do you say we get started?
Let's do it. I'm so ready.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to say like right before we get into it? I mean,
I would honestly, the only thing I got is like, thank you for having me on. This is super cool. Vibes have already been super sick. I've seen, you know, like a lot of buzz about this type of stuff. I'm honored that you asked me to come on. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do this show without having Origami Angel on. Let's be real.
Oh, I appreciate it.
All right, so everybody, chat and Ryland. Well, I know you already have a streaming app up, but now is the time where I'm going to request that all of you get a streaming app or a way to listen to the album Somewhere City by Origami Angel up on your computer, on your phone, like whatever you need to do, because again, I will not be playing the music live on stream. You will be syncing with me. I will be doing a 3, 2, 1 go. That was not it. But that's what it will sound like when I do it. It's a 3, 2, 1, and on go, you will hit play, and we should be synced. And if we're not like completely synced, it's okay. You'll either be a little bit ahead of us or a little bit behind us. So we will either be excitedly talking about a thing you're about to hear, or we'll excitedly be talking about a thing that you've already heard moments before. And it's okay. And if you ever want to return to the VOD on the YouTube channel, like you're giving the album a listen and you're like, wow, I really want to hear Ryland's thoughts on this again or whatever, that will be available. You'll basically just do the same thing. You'll get to the point where I do the countdown and you'll hit play when I say go, and you should be synced with it then as well. Cool. Daphne Loves Derby Official says, I'm anxious to sync. Daphne Loves Derby Official. Weren't we just talking about them?
Yeah, they were one of the aforementioned Seattle bands.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, super cool.
Okay. I'm anxious to sync. Here's the, oh, this is my first time syncing. I'm also anxious. Here's the deal.
I'm a little anxious too.
I'm anxious every time. I genuinely fucked up the cheek face one. And to the point where we had to stop and start over. So don't worry. We will all live. It's okay. But I don't know that you could be more anxious about it than I am.
True.
Because
you are in the hot seat, William. You're in the hot seat.
I really did fuck it up.
I like to imagine that there's somebody like trying to listen to it on vinyl when we're talking about it, and that they accidentally put it on 45 or something like that. So they listen to the Nightcore version and get through the album like in 60% of the time that we do. Pretty funny. Oh,
people are synced and listening apparently in the chat here. Oh, I love this song. So good. Do you hear that guitar? Okay, cool. I've given you all the amount of time to open a streaming service. I personally use the Green Music app. I do not endorse, nor are they an endorsement of ours, nor do I like them as a company.
Same.
So use whatever you will. You can use the fruit with the bite taken out of it app. You can use any which sort of thing. Deezer.
Let's go.
Do I got any Deezer heads?
Yo, did you hear Deezer switch to this thing where it's like they only put the subscription money towards the actual listens? Like they only do it towards the people that are active. Like
I've heard Deezer is the best thing for artists. I really have.
It's definitely the best one.
And like nobody uses it.
Yeah. I heard it's big in Europe actually. Like or at least it was at the time that the Mom Jeans album leaked on Deezer. Like I remember when that happened and I got Deezer for that.
Yeah, the Deezer and then Tidal is like the next best one or something.
Yeah. I've heard that.
Yeah. Deezer, I only know Weezer. Okay. All right. Chat's got jokes. Chat's got jokes. Okay. I've given you 100 years to pull up a streaming service. I'm going to get started here. Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you, Ryland, for being here. When we have you on again to cover Gami Gang inevitably, because I also love that record.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I would love to do that. You please feel free to also bring your drummer.
Yeah, hopefully be a package. Let's just be in the same spot like next time, and then it'd be super cool because like the thing about Gami Gang particularly that I love is just like how much more like even this album has so much great drum stuff, but he's gotten like even like every album it's like he gets 2 times better, and it's so much like cool stuff, and I would love to have him in the room just to be, you know, explaining like what he's doing, because it's cool to listen to him do it too, because he's got this very unique take on drumming, and I'd love to do that.
Yeah, he's ridiculous. He's so good. I mean, it is like I'm not even. I would say I'm primarily a drummer now, but like I used to be primarily a guitarist and a singer. Mm-hmm. So like usually that was the things that I would focus on. But for sure, like when I did all of my listens of Somewhere City, and like when I listened to Gami Gang for the first time, and then like on my re-listen of it, I have a hard time not being sucked in by the drums. I really
it's fun. It's a super fun drum energy, and that's like it's so interesting. Like obviously like when we like make a record, it's hard for me to listen back for a while. But like I recently just did with Gami Gang, and just listening to it, I was like, I'm just so happy with how these drums came out. Like it's just this dude killed it, and I feel like I did okay too. But I just am so like happy that people get to have a like representation of how killer Pat is on drums. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And also, speaking as someone who has seen you live, you're both undeniably incredible live as well. So
same with y'all though.
Thank you. Okay. Why don't we do it then?
Let's go.
All right. So this is Somewhere City by Origami Angel. And the first track is Welcome To. I'll be saying the track names as we go, just so you know. Like,
cool.
Yeah. So Welcome To on Somewhere City by Origami Angel. I'm here with Ryland from Origami Angel, and we are about to chat and listen along. I hope everyone's ready. Everyone in the chat.
I'm so nervous.
I hope you've got it. The amount that I'm building it up is almost making it worse, if I'm being honest.
No, it's great. I like this. It's going to make it fun and adrenaline rush.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go. We just got a posture check, just so you know.
Posture check. Let's go.
Yeah.
Be straight up. This is the first song I wrote on the whole record. It's the only time I've ever written the first song first.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. And the last song is second, actually. But I just remember writing this like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I had the idea for the record.
God, this is an incredible opener.
Thank you. I love that with the snare placements of this. It's so fun. Very choppy, you know. It's.
Well, you should know. I love your voice so much.
Thank you. I felt like it's so weird because I feel like over the years we've been playing, like I've gotten much stronger in my voice. Like I've gotten like just from playing shows, I'm able to like project more.
Yeah.
And this kind of felt like the first time I was really able to dig into my voice on this record. And it was also the first time another person had recorded any vocals like for Origami Angel. We recorded with Jake, like everything else we just did on our own. But like I learned a lot of stuff. That's how I fell in love with this microphone, you know?
Mm-hmm. And this like little breakdown here. It was awesome to see you play this live.
Thank you. Yeah, and this drum fill at the end of this little build up is
kakadu, kakadu.
Yeah. When he showed me that, I was like, Pat's the GOAT. Like, I don't even, like, I was ready to just be like, this dude's insane.
I'm just gonna be quiet for this.
It's been a minute since I've heard this. Wow.
Yeah, there are several times on this record that, I mean, to echo something that someone said in chat, that like, it literally does give me chills. Like, I'm completely serious. Like this, and there's.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, all the like microscopic moments like later for it. That part is also I'll talk about it when we get to it, but that part gets me every time.
That's another one of my favorite moments, like in any Origami Angel song.
Up here.
And then there's like truck noises that I found on YouTube, like just stock like free stuff to like make it feel like you're on a freeway or something like that entering, you know?
This is 24-hour Drive-Thru.
The single. What's funny is this is like the second or like last song we wrote on the whole record. And it was just like, I just felt like we needed like a single, like that was definitively a single, because it's really tough. And then I was like, I feel like this could maybe fit it into the record. I know, you know? It's a real
yeah. That drum part. Ticka 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 ticka.
Yeah, the switch to the 16ths.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Don't have to be that way. I already know what to say. Yeah. I mean, it's an incredible chorus. It's very catchy. The pre-chorus and everything. Yeah.
Appreciate it. This is like one of the ones where I sort of felt like I was able to like dabble with the structure of the song more than I had like as a writer in the past, just because it's like, you know, I feel like every time you write, you gain a little bit more experience. And writing this at the end of the record, I was like, well, I've got this experience from writing most of it, and now I know how to like play with what I want, you know?
Yeah, I love the complete like abandonment of verse here. Yeah, because you expect it to go back to like a verse structure, and then you're just like, nope.
Yeah, we love, for especially this record and Gami Gang, where it's like no second verse, just bridge, and then make it some back in. And this is something we hadn't really played with, like this type of like Mario Kart sound almost, you know? And then a dance beat there.
Yeah. Boo, da boo, da boo, da boo, da boo, da boo, da boo. Oh, that too.
One of my favorite drum beats.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be that way. I also really the drum part there, the doom kaka doom kaka doom kaka doom kaka.
Yeah,
that actually has really informed my own like drumming pretty recently
Seriously.
as well. There's like some stuff in
cool.
Glass Beach like that's going to be on the next record.
Nice.
That is like absolutely me copying
Nah, it's
Origami
cool.
Angel.
That's so sick though. It's good to hear. I'm excited to hear that.
Okay.
Highest note I can hit in my register is in the harmony, and also the lowest note. Like I had to push myself for both. Like I had to record them at 2 different times where we did all the harmonies like way after we recorded the skeleton of the record. So like I did the high ones at one time, and then I did the low ones the next day when I had just woken up, so I was able to get the
yeah.
There's a trick I heard Peter Gabriel say. What
Oh,
Peter Gabriel
hell
was
yeah.
like, he was like, I would record my bass vocals in the nighttime or in the morning, like right when I woke up. Roller coaster sound. Forgot
Yeah.
about that.
I was actually gonna ask if that was a plane, but I was so this is
Sounds a little like a plane.
this one is 666 Flags.
This is another early one in terms of like what we wrote for the record.
Make it happen someday. Love this.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite riffs on the record.
This like upbeat.
Yeah, it's definitely like very jumpy, you know?
Yeah.
But keeping like the halftime feel
It
of
feels
it.
it feels like you're floating for a second. Been a long way
And this is just like a bare naked ladies like type of verse right or bridge right here.
Yeah.
At least in my head it is. It's what it sounds like. Yeah. This is definitely a highlight. This one is super fun to play live just because of how it starts and just how it's just a journey. You know, writing it, I was like, I had the roller coaster lyric or whatever. What if we try to make it feel like a ride? You know, like and just have its ups and downs and its floats, like you're talking about.
This is it. Microscopic moments help me feel like I'm not helpless. I'm okay. Oh.
That rhythm is so weird, but it like lines to the grid. But
Yeah.
it's very weird as a rhythm. Because it's not a triplet, but it's also like it's like a dotted eighth note, maybe.
Sure.
But it starts
yeah.
at a very weird spot. It's
And then
having to do
blast
it to a
beats.
click. It's weird. Yeah.
And then
classic.
blast beats.
Just Gami vibes. Then we get the upstrokes here in a second, too, right? This is one of the last things we wrote to the ending of this song because we didn't know how to end it, and it got to this point where I was so frustrated with like different versions we had. I was just like, dude, fuck it. I would just like play the craziest shit you could play on drums, and I'll write something around it. And it ended up just being like straight up blasts.
And this one is Dr. Whomst. I did want to say on the last record, the last song, the stereo panned tapping. I love that.
Thank you.
To feel making happy meals.
The music for this was written like super long after the lyrics were. It was a lyric I just found from over like 3 years ago. Like, and I was just like struggling to figure out what to do with this song. And I was like, maybe I'll just start it like that, I guess. And it just kind of, it was again, like one of the last things we wrote.
That your fucking vocal line. It's like your voice is just about to break and it doesn't.
Yeah.
And I love it.
It's one of the, I had to like train super hard just for that song to like get to that part of my register where I was like, I want to sing these notes, but I can't hit it as I was. Like I could hit the half step or the whole step like right before it, but I had to get to it, and it took like such a long time of just singing that and just trying to extend my range. But we got close to it on the record.
It's great. I also the end of that chorus said, that part. Yeah. I'm wondering, is that intentionally sounding like the Drake and Josh theme song, or is that unintentional?
Honestly, I probably just ripped it from Drake and Josh.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I was thinking because you play off of a lot of that, like, cartoon, like, or television nostalgia and stuff. So
Definitely
I was like,
on this song too. Yeah,
I was like, oh, is that a?
Maybe it is.
Is that a
Maybe
little?
it was something that like was telling me to do that melody in that part of the song. But what's funny is we actually used to cover the Drake and Josh theme song, so it's probably something that's in the back of my head.
Oh, hell yeah! It works so well for the song, though.
Thank you. They got the 8-tracked harmonies there to come back into the chorus. And then the halftime this time, right?
Yep. The great eye.
It does sound like that. I love that, actually. I love that. First real breakdown on the record.
Your riffs are so good. Thank you. Every single riff is so good on the whole record.
I appreciate it. It's something we definitely like worked super hard to like try to cultivate the perfect balance of like hookiness and then just like heavy and cool riffing on this record. And here's the Star Trek sample, right?
And this one is Say Less.
Say Less. That's Scotty from the original series of Star Trek, and he says that to like some, I can't even remember what the situation is, but they're about to fight like someone. I can't even remember what it is, but someone like insults Scotland to him, and he's like, and even though they're in space, it's like the year 2200, but he's like, don't you think you should rephrase that? And then he like fights him. No, I think he actually insulted the Enterprise. I'm wrong. He didn't insult Scotland.
That's all right.
This is a super early riff from this record. Like, this might be, at least this riff was written even before Welcome To. Welcome To is just like the first song I fully wrote, but like This riff was very early in the vault.
Hiding the fact that you don't like me. And if
just, the pop punk chorus of the album.
Yeah.
And this is another one where it's like, my voice used to break when I sang this, like when I wrote it. And then by the time we got to the record, it was just like, oh, I can kind of do this, like just as part of my range now, which is fun.
This drum part.
Yeah. I love that close too. It's underrated how he ends, right? And the catch is so fun.
Yeah.
And that's like one of the most important things about like that riff is just how it closes, and just it's like it feels like you're getting sucked and then back into it.
Yeah.
Very fun. And from a drum aspect, I love it.
I mean, he's so good at the like hi-hat barking. Like
yeah. It's one of my favorite like accents to act, and that's why like on this record, even like on Origami Gang, it's something that we come back to a lot. Same with the halftime breakdown,
Yep.
And the triplet, right?
My goddamn mind.
It's the only song we've ever put bass tapping in, like when we record the bass. And I think it's, I don't know where it is. Right here. Like it was just a tap part for guitar, and I was like, oh, I could play that on bass too. And so we did it. That's the end of side 1.
And this is Escape Rope. That little tiny beat switch right at the end there is...
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
It's a little jarring. It's like...
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I think it was just because like aesthetically we wanted this to be like the one darker part of the record, you know what I'm saying? Like, and the switch of the second record is just having it be very jarring and be a different tonal switch almost. But it's a fun fill.
Yeah. I haven't had a chance to say much about this so far because we're talking too much about like how good the music, like compositionally and like technique and everything is. But you write some of my favorite lyrics, just period.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you.
This great riff. But, and I'm sorry I'm talking on top of it. But you I as a songwriter like myself, like I get really caught up in the way that people are going to read or like hear my lyrics to a point where like it is extremely like I have found it stifling at points.
Yeah.
And like some of it is like, oh, are they going to read this as immature? Oh, are they going to read this as like whiny? Oh, are they going to read this as like yada yada yada? And the thing that I really adore and like love about your music, it is like, I mean, I don't know how much time you spend on the lyrics. It sounds like a lot. But
sometimes and sometimes not, you know,
and sometimes not. But it seems so genuine and so like lacking in like caring how people will perceive it.
Right. And it's taken a long time to get to like that point where I feel just like comfortable with saying dumb shit in a song. But as the more I've grown and more I've like reflected on life experiences, it's like I appreciate the vulnerable moments, the immature moments of my life, the, you know, juvenile parts, as much as I do appreciate the, you know, the more mature, the more adult moments. And just kind of like, I feel like all that can be explored in music. And it's just part of vulnerability, right? Is accessing the younger part of you and saying, I do feel like maybe shit right now, or I feel like maybe accessing that, it makes me feel good. You know, it's something that's taken a long time, but thank you for saying that. I appreciate it.
And this is the title track.
Yeah. This record moves kind of quick.
It does.
I've been stuck in the mindset of the 50-minute album, but this one is already track 7. I love it.
I do love this song.
I love this one too. It's one of my favorites. I think it's in like our top like streamed ones. Not that like that really I pay attention to it, but I'm kind of glad just because I think this is a song where we have so much unity between the drums and the guitar and the vocal. It just sort of feels like this. I don't even know. It just feels like in my mind, it's like the band that's playing at the restaurant in Somewhere City. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and just like, especially this shit. This is crazy.
I love it.
I just want to listen to this riff because I love the drum part so much. I can't believe I made Pat. I was like, play this. And he was like, no, I'm gonna play something better than that. And it looks so hard. It's just like so crazy. Because he wasn't even using double kick then. He used double kick on Gami Gang, but no double kick on Somewhere City whatsoever. And there's a lot of like moments where it's like, I don't know how he does it.
Yeah. Oh my God. There are so many.
I'm glad we added that harmony under it.
Yeah.
I love this fill. Back to that dance beat. We fell in love with that beat for a minute, and I was like, we might have to stop using the dance beat. But it's so fun to play that and just like play it live. It just, especially right before a breakdown and right after kind of like the flowy thing, it's just like to access the dancey part is just so like, I don't even when I play it, I can't stop like from like moving side to side. It's just a fun little groove to get into.
This one is Skeleton Key. This I would say is your most like sounds like lyrically with the chorus the most you are playing with a single idea.
Yeah, for sure. And it's definitely like I feel like one of the more mature moments on this record, but also one of the more just like innocent, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where it's sort of just, apart from some other songs in this record, which are more big picture, this one is kind of just like individual. And it's kind of like, for me, each song is like a different viewpoint of like a different element that I think exists in this fictional thing, right? Or what a person I'd imagine. And this one is different than the other ones in a way to me. Like where it exists and who it is speaking is a different, in a different mindset than the rest of it a little bit, you know?
Yeah. And this like, this opener, like you're opening like melody with the lyrics and that noodly like guitar riff in the background.
Yeah.
And I love this part too, but it's like it might be my favorite like segment of like an opening part of one of your songs.
Oh, thank you. I'd love to hear that because I think it was super hard with this one because it's like one of the slower ones on the record, right? And it's just like one of the more, from in my voice, like honestly, just me. You know, a lot of this record feels like I was trying to access different characters, different, you know, mindsets. But this one really just feels like it came from my heart, you know? And it was supposed to be like the heart of the city that I was trying to make in this album. And it's just like, this one's got to be a little more personal, you know? So it's good to hear that. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah. And that, so do you even have to ask me? That like melody.
Yeah.
It recurs on the album quite a few times.
That one's actually intentional.
Okay. I was wondering if that was because like sometimes like singers will just like have a rhythm, like a way that, you know, melodies, certain melodies they go to. And so I was just curious.
Yeah. There's a couple moments like in this song and in even a little bit in the chorus of Say Less that kind of tease the reprise, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's definitely one of them where it's supposed to like share a little connection. There was almost a version without the feedback, which would have sounded so different, right? Like we back like 4 or 5 tracks of guitar with no feedback. And I was like, wait, what if we just cranked this and put this in front of the amp? And I think it makes the fill a lot more accented.
Yeah. You're my skeleton key. Yeah. It's funny that that's like the slow song.
Yeah. It is kind of funny because it's still got the breakdown like the halftime.
Yeah.
This is my favorite song on the record.
This is Find Your Throne. This one makes me feel so good.
It makes me feel good too, honestly. It's like one that I think about, like I'm just like, I'm really glad I wrote this song. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really glad that we were able to put this on a record because it means a lot to me. And it's just like, you know, it's got its own personal story for me. But it's just, I'm glad that other people have had their own connections with it too. And it's a super, super important song to me.
This is...
like, yeah.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I wasn't even going to say anything. I was just going to say like, yeah. So go ahead, William.
This is this is what I mean when I compliment your lyricism. Because that opening, like it's like a pre-chorus or chorus kind of thing, like that. It's really damn good idea. As a matter of fact, it's brilliant. Like the way you write that lyrically. I mean, I think to people who are cynical could come off as like so juvenile, but it is so extremely sincere and it's like something that is very important for some people to hear. And I just love that you just do it.
Thank you. Honestly, that's great to hear. Cause like, honestly, that's just a thing. Another lyric I wanted to use for such a long time before writing this record. I just wrote it I went to school for a semester and like, it was that semester I wrote that and that was 2016 and I just had it in the vault. And I was like, I really want to make this something. Writing the instrumental of this, I was like, it could kind of work as this chorus. And then you got the bridge here.
Oh, this is my favorite part of the record.
I'd have to agree.
I know you.
It was so fun to close this on that tour too.
I know you. And that little drop down in the melody.
Didn't even feel like I wrote this part. It kind of felt like it came over me. Like when I had the structure for the beginning and it sort of just played this once and I was like, that's the song. Even including this ending. Like I didn't have that.
Love that easily.
Man, this just makes me think about playing shows. And just because we used to close with this and it was super fun, the energy that we like just received from people. It's just, we might still close with this, honestly.
Hey.
I don't know.
Yeah. This is an incredible, like lyrically and like the melody and the way that it all fits together here at the end.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It definitely feels like another part where it's just like the honesty, like you mentioned, where it's like, it could come off as juvenile, but it's also at this point just supposed to be like a mask off, like honest thing that I'm trying to say to a person in an honest situation, you know? And it's something that I'm glad, like as a writer, I was able to access specifically for that record in terms of like the honesty with myself and not really like putting my true feelings behind a wall or like any words behind a wall for myself, because I feel like sometimes that can just complement the songs better, it can complement the meaning better.
Yeah, and it really comes through. It does.
Thank you. Yeah. It means so much to hear that, especially like come from you. I know like you're around great music and do this like all the time, so it does mean a lot to me.
And this one is The Air Up Here, which is the final track.
Yeah, like I said before, the first song we wrote, or the first song like I wrote the structure of, was Welcome To, and the second song I wrote was The Air Up Here. So I had it as a bookend from the very beginning, and was like, okay, time to write the middle. And obviously I didn't have the reprise.
Yes. Yeah, you wrote all of the other stuff in this final song, and then you're like, okay, now let's build songs off of all of these.
Make a chorus out of each one. Yeah, no, I didn't do that. This was like another one that it seemed like a lot of people connected with, like in terms of like the streaming numbers or whatever, which is, to be taken with a grain of salt. But I really appreciated that one of the last song on the record was liked, and it's something that I'm always so nervous about a big project like this.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. It was a great feeling to see like, oh, this one came through, like, and it makes me feel good that people still like this song because I still love it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you do something with this record in kind of the way that like it's all tied together and bookended that, like, again, I mean, like, I'm not going to shut up about this, I guess. That can just come off, like, it could come off as rudimentary or like juvenile or like, I mean, for so many other records or so many other bands, it could be like insincere the way that they approach it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so obviously genuine that
I appreciate that.
that there is no like clouding the fact that like this record means so much to you and that like it had to be the way that it is, like for it to be like Somewhere City,
Exactly. And it's like, I won't even talk through the reprise right now, but
I'm gonna shut up too.
I'm gonna try to think of all the things that are in this because I forget sometimes. It's not that easy in the right ear. Say less. NASCAR, 24-hour drive-through chorus. Starting Like Myself.
And
because it's got something from every song on the
we
record.
got Skeleton Key in here too. Yeah.
Title track on the left ear, The City's Never Far Away. I always forget about that one.
So lost.
It's too many vocal layers here too. It's so much.
The whole like gang vocal like coming in to do the final like "This City Never Lets Me Down" is an unbelievable climax to this album.
Thank you. It was so funny because I remember someone saying like, is this album gonna have gang vox on it when y'all make it? And I was like, maybe it will. And then it ended up having like so much all over the record. And it's so important to it, I feel, of that whole communal feeling.
Yes, exactly. Who's doing the screaming?
That's me.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I scream on every Origami track that screams. That's me. But there's a bunch of gang box in there.
There's just something in the air. Mm-hmm. I love this little part at the end.
Wow, that's the record.
Yeah.
Wow.
You did it. And it's like, it's a great bookend and it feels very earned.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's so interesting to hear this, like, a couple years removed from like the process of it now. And it's just like, I'm still really proud of it. Like, that's another thing is like, I always hope, like, I think being an artist, it's so interesting because like we're always going to be progressing forward with our music. We're always going to be writing new things. We're always going to be, getting better in our own ways. But that's another thing I want everybody to know is like, I know how much Somewhere City means to a lot of people, and it means the same in different ways and the same ways to me. And it's something that we're never going to, be like, oh, that was just the baby debut. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's never going to be like that for me. And I assume it's very similar for y'all,
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, it's something that's so important to us that it's always going to be like, something we're coming back to. We're not going to be the band that's never playing Somewhere City songs again.
Yeah.
We're always going to appreciate it for what it is. And like, we appreciate people who have, supported and got us to that point. So and it's just like, it means a lot to us that it means a lot to other people. And it's just a thing that I hope everybody knows and can take away from that record is that we're still in there. We're still residents, and it's something that we're always going to continue to rep on our shoulders very proudly as a debut LP.
Yeah. And it's amazing. It's I found myself like while I was listening back to it this whole week, just having kind of that feeling of like, well, of course this kind of put you out there. Of course people like latched onto it. Like, how could they not? I mean, that's like, so, and to your point of, like you would never abandon this record, no matter how far like you grow from it. It's like, because like it is important to you, but it is important to like so many people who listen to it as well. And I would almost like, we do feel the same for the First Class Beach album. Like, no matter how far away we get from that, I think, how could we ever say anything belittling or demeaning or even like abandon the record as a whole, or even individual songs, knowing how much like it meant to us and knowing how much it like still means to the people who are continuing to listen to it and everything. Because
exactly,
just because you release another record doesn't mean people stop listening to the first one. In fact, usually it makes them listen to the first one more.
Exactly. And it's so fun because like I feel like I see in this new wave of artists, like I feel like there's obviously been a huge talk about whatever you want to call the current wave, but something that I see and it makes me really happy as someone who's a fan of music, not just, in this wave. I see a lot more artists, like they're creating stuff and they're repping it as more of like a living discography. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what I want this to be. I think that's what a lot of people are taking their stuff as. It's just like, it's going to continue to be an extension. And I think like, it's great to see that. It makes me warm inside to know somebody's favorite band is going to continue repping, what the initial reasons why they're your favorite band, and then there's going to be more reasons too as to why it keeps growing. So it's something really cool I like to see that this new generation is doing.
Oh yeah, I mean, because I think it's like so easy to, I mean, especially if you're making music when you're young like you.
Yeah.
Not to say that I'm not, but I am 28.
Right. Yeah, it's still young.
It's still young. No, exactly. It is still young.
In the grand scheme of things, it is still, and it's just like, it is an interesting thing too, where it's like a lot of these songs were written when I was 19 or 20, right? And actually all of them were. So,
hey, yeah.
And it's something that I feel very easily that me or Pat could want to, drift away from. But at the end of the day, like what this record's about and what it's supposed to mean, as corny as it sounds, I'm sure y'all have heard this and said it all the time. You want to make the music you want to listen to, right?
Yes.
It's definitely something that is true about your band, and it's evident. I feel like that might even be like a slogan I've heard y'all say before, where it's just like, we want to create something that we want to listen to.
Yeah.
And it's in the same boat where it's like aesthetically, like just in terms of like lyrically, in terms of the mood of this record, it was something that we needed to hear at that time. And as a writer, a lyric writer, I needed to hear myself say to like get myself to a point where I could believe in this record. And it's something that like, because of that, it's always gonna be right there, like very close to my heart, and maybe even within it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love that too. I mean, because that is like that is predominantly how I feel about my own music and the music of like my peers and those around me. I mean, it's so funny. Like I said, I'm 28. I have songs that I wrote when I was like 19 years old that I am like still, that are still some of my favorite songs that like, which is surprising. It took me a while to get there because I was writing music for like 5 like 6 years before that, and it was just all very bad. But that's okay. I mean, because like it takes time to find that, and then I look back, and I mean, like you say, you wrote a lot of these when you were 19, and I'm just like, oh my god, if I wrote anything this good when I was 19, I'd have. Anyway, but like you and like Sophia from Harmony Woods and everything, like there are all these like really young people who are willing to not like board themselves up. And I'm not saying you have to like cut your heart open and bleed out all over the place on your record, but like there's something very endearing and I do like love and like respect about the way that a lot of artists in our scene right now, it's not like they're gouging themselves for like for listens or for content or whatever. It's just them genuinely, like you said, you know, not only putting out the stuff that they want to hear, but putting out something that they need to hear.
Yeah, you know? That's the huge thing, is just like I feel like hearing at the, like, you know, whether it's instrumentally, musically, like what you're capable of doing, or like from a project standpoint, like something that makes you, you know, because just creating art is supposed to be for the artist at its core, right? And obviously, like, we're in this weird spot, like all of us, where there is a monetary avenue. There's also, you know, a bigger scene like avenue, but you know, it starts at that spot, right? And then, you know, the cliche is like everything you do that you love will start in the same way. Like if you enjoy what you do. So it's like, yeah, I think exactly. It's like a lot of people just need to hear and need to put that thing out and have that thing that other people can latch onto too, and have, you know, aforementioned artists just say it to those people in concert, over live streams, and just it's something important. It just creates this own universe in their head where, you know, it's like you're really doing something important, and it's what they are doing. So I guess that's just my heart out on this record.
Yeah.
and you know, everybody else is doing very similar things, and it's great to watch and hear and listen to.
I'm going to hit the chat back up. I haven't forgot about you. Don't worry, chat. Austin, like overzealous, says, I've heard Zero Gami before today, and that was so dope. So
thank you.
Yeah. That's what I want. I mean, like, if there's anybody who's like watching for Glass Beach purposes or just likes me for whatever reason, I want to show you these artists that I love. And like, I love Origami Angel, and Somewhere City is one of my favorite records, and I'm just excited. I'm glad.
It's a great thing you're doing too. It's just like, it's super cool. It's like I said, I've been seeing buzz about it and like checked some of the VODs out. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. Like it's super cool to just see the type of stuff that y'all are doing with this platform, and just where you're extending its reach to. It's very heartwarming, and like, I know y'all are very genuine about it. So it's really cool.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. We got some people saying Pog and just talking about the end of the album.
Let's go.
Yep. Would you say Origami Angel is Midwest emo? Because that's like the genre I see given to it. Yeah, there's a few like people saying the riffs and everything give math and Midwest emo vibes.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say what we like are, you know?
Yeah.
Obviously, like, I think we went into this band like being comfortable called the Midwest emo band. Not that we're uncomfortable with it now, but I also think, you know, by the time we got to Summer City, we're also, you know, going in other directions at the same time. It's like, you know, people say pop punk. I don't know. It doesn't sound like some pop punk, but it does sound like some other pop punk. It's definitely got the math elements. It's got the Midwest emo elements at points. You know, I love what Eli said when they said we were second wave easycore. I kind of I latch onto that. I hope that can catch on. I'm definitely a fan of that idea. But you know, it's hard to say. It's obviously super hard to assess. Like, you know, I'm sure y'all have gone through the same thing as like a band that goes through many different genres, you know, whether it be in a span of 2 minutes or the span of a whole album. It's like you're going and doing stuff that isn't traditionally heard in the traditional genre breakdown stuff, and dabbling and putting your feet into many different pools at once, or switching between them and trying all this stuff out. It's hard to say totally what we are, but I think you could put that Midwest, like that, there could be a hashtag Midwest emo on the YouTube video. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the way I put it. Cool.
I mean, like, yeah, I mean, I hear it. And I also agree with like what you're saying. Sometimes there's a thing that Jay says about like, genre. I mean, like that, it doesn't matter, but, it doesn't matter until it matters, kind of like. So
Right.
people in communities, if it helps you define music in a way that makes you or others decide to check it out or listen to it,
Yeah.
then genre labeling is very helpful and useful
Totally
and
matters.
can be good. If it becomes like a thing of like, I want to know what you are so I can like gatekeep it or not listen to you for some reason.
Yeah.
Like then that's like a little bit less of an endearing quality with like genre labeling, but I don't see any problem
Yeah.
with it. I would say I would probably just call y'all emo or easy core or something. Sure.
Yeah, both of those. I like easy mo, like easy core mo.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's pretty good. Let's see here. Yeah, some more people talking about Midwest emo. Stark Name asked me if I would do a Mom Jeans listen along. I do like Mom Jeans. So
Be cool.
yeah, I mean, there's like a ton of artists I still want to like listen to records by. Oh, thank you so much for reminding me. I wanted to bring up The Greatest Generation by the Wonder Years because they do a really similar thing with the reprise, like at the end. And like this record always reminded me of that. Just like, I mean, of course, like with that as a quality, but The Greatest Generation is also extremely like could be seen as like juvenile at times, could be seen as corny, like cheesy, but is like so unapologetically genuine, sincere, and like so there's like I feel like these two albums, like Somewhere City and The Greatest Generation, like fill some compositional and arrangement like similarity ideas, but also just like the approach and the tone feels really
What's
similar
so interesting
to me.
is like I have liked that album in a different part of my life like a lot than like when I was writing Somewhere City, and it's like almost didn't even come up as like a inspiration that I was thinking about, but it definitely probably is in there, like like just subliminally at the same time as the active inspirations were, which is like I was on just like a Chunk, No Captain Chunk, and Prince Daddy wave when it came to it, and then also like Sarah McLachlan and shit. Like it was, it just has to be my classic three. Those are the three I always say when it comes to Somewhere City, which doesn't really make any sense, but it makes sense to me. I don't know. It's definitely like it's cool to see our record in the same like sentence as like a Wonder Years record. That's like it's something I feel like very prideful about. That's like a band that is almost like not a band just because of like how untouchably like like dominant their music is. It's just like it's just so impactful to so many people, especially like people in the age group that are kind of like encompassing the scene now. It's like you probably, even if you didn't love the Wonder Years, like one thing. If someone says that they came out swinging, they're probably going to reference a Wonder Years thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's an honor to even be have those things in the same sentence, even if someone's saying Somewhere City's not as good as The Great Generation. It's still cool. It's still cool.
I mean, I didn't even see C-Band C subscribed with Prime. Thank you for the Prime Prime sub.
Let's go.
I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Barely March is here in the chat. Hi.
Yo.
Barely March said, just going to copy paste what I said earlier. Gami in this album specifically is so good at utilizing brevity in the songwriting. Abandoning the idea of needing a second verse just makes everything feel so much more concise and gets rid of that unnecessary wait to get to the almighty chorus. Lol.
Lol. Let's go. Yeah, that's so cool. It's cool to hear that from Barry of Barely March. It's like, now that's it, Jake from Counterintuitive, right? But thank you. It's dope because I mean, Barely March is a band that like around the time too that I was like starting to write this record, I had like, which was like in the middle of 2018. I just like started to take a little dive on their first album, and I was just like, wow, this is so experimentally cool, and it's blending these aggressive tones with some of this happier stuff that I really I like latched onto that sound, and it's very endearing to like the type of music that I like. So it's cool to hear them compliment our structural stuff too, because I love Barely March.
Hell yeah. And we dream band to tour with that you haven't played a show with before. That's a question from the Orange Monk.
It's so, I feel like I haven't thought about touring in like such a long time that I can't.
I see you and P Daddy like tweeting at each other.
Yeah, I want to do some of that, but we actually have played a show with them, so I feel like they're they're out of the discussion. But that would just be a dream. I mean, anyone who knows me knows how much Prince Daddy has meant just to my life as a musician and as a person as well. As let's see. We haven't played with Pink Shift. I think that would be crazy. I think that would be so good.
I said this. I didn't do this. There's a tweet I had a long time ago that I almost tweeted with the band account, but it was when everyone was announcing tours, and I didn't want to like make people think I was announcing a tour, because you have to kind of be careful with that shit. But like sure. And then I augmented it later because I was like, well, are people, whatever. But my dream show as of right now is Origami Angel, Glass Beach, Pink Shift, Jiraiya. And
that would go crazy.
Yeah, that's like, I would love a show that is like the four of us. And yeah,
that'd be awesome.
I've thought about that so much, because like, especially when I was listening to Gami Gang, I was just like, man, can't we just tour together?
That would be so cool too. That would work and just be like, that'd be awesome. Yeah. That's got to happen at some point.
It would be sick to tour with y'all.
Likewise, and I hope like obviously stuff's getting announced. Like I really do have the fingers crossed that this all stays on the right path towards really happening. Obviously, like I'm sure y'all are in the same boat where it's just like we like there's a little bit of skepticism at this point where it's like what could change in the next X amount of months, because all it took was a month for everything to change before too. But yeah, I'm hopeful. So it's like hopefully something we can be thinking about more seriously and really start like talking about this stuff. Because I don't know if you share the sentiment, but it's almost like there's a little bit of like not a like sadness, but this bittersweet idea of saying like, oh, we should totally tour together. Where it's like, I wish that could happen right now.
Yeah.
Like and the stuff that should have already happened, like the stuff that could have happened. It's just like it's tough to look back on that and think just like, wow, like. How many more times would we be intersecting paths like via DC, via LA? It's just like how many different times could we have done cool stuff in the last 14 to 15 months?
Have y'all ever did you ever get a chance to play with Bartise before the pandemic and anything?
We didn't actually. That's the other thing, is there's a lot of DMV bands that we've never got the chance to play with. Like I got a lot of bands in this area. I'd only ever been to a Bartise show once, and that was like obviously like long before the record came out, which is like came out during the pandemic. But yeah, like we've only been in person together one time, and it's like he's really like just down the street, like 15 miles away, and it's something I think about often. It's just like, wow, like, it's tough because I don't know. I hope we can do something like huge and wild. This is not like me saying that I think it could happen, but like as soon as things are legit safe, like just some huge benefit with the hella DC bands, just like just put it together and make it happen. And I don't know. That's something I am hopeful can happen at some point. And it's because that's the thing that has to happen too. It's just like we are always in the same area. It's like it's weird that it hasn't happened.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean,
and it's like with Pink Ship, they're from Baltimore too, so it's not that far away. It's just we have this luxury on the East Coast that I don't think we take advantage enough as much as we should. Where it's like city to city could be like 50 minutes. Like and y'all are like it's like 5 hours to the Bay or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, like if you need to leave LA, like but go through LA in order to leave, it's like a 2 to 3 hour trip just to go. I mean, like it's like 3.5 hours to Anaheim, and I'm like, seriously, we're both in Southern California.
And the Angels used to play in Anaheim. Like it's the same damn thing, right? So that was like my first time on the West Coast, which was the tour before we first played with y'all. It was just like me learning like, wow, I have friends that live 45 minutes away, but these people will go like 6 hours just to hang out with people sometimes. And I've never done that. So it's like, it's just an adapted thing. Like now I have a perspective. I've never been on the West Coast, but now like, having done it a couple times, it's like, wow, this kind of neat. I feel better about driving long places and having it be justified.
Oh my God. I mean, yeah, Jonas and I are from the Midwest. We're from Minnesota.
Right. Remember that.
Yeah. So like, I mean, the difference here, even a short distance travel in LA, like a 45-minute drive is a nightmare because it's 45 minutes of sitting. It's like you're sitting installed in traffic. It's like the difference between I used to go on like an hour and a half. I used to drive like 3 hours to go to the Twin Cities in Minnesota, like from my hometown.
Right.
or from my college town or whatever, and we would just do that on like a weekend, and it would be like, oh, it's a little bit of a trip, but like you're going. You're going 65, like 70 miles per hour the whole way there, and you're like, this is fine, this is great, everyone's chilling.
See a couple lights, and then you're in the city, right?
Yeah.
And obviously the city's different, but yeah, that's the other thing too. Is just like LA has such notorious traffic. I was almost excited to drive in it because DC also has some notorious traffic. I don't know if you know that. So I was like, I want to see what this is all about because everyone says it's next level, and it was all right. It was cool. But it's interesting to see, just like places you've never been and stuff like that. But yeah, it is a lot of sitting, and I could imagine it's infuriating as someone from the Midwest, where you could probably go a couple we've done it. We've hit like 10 hours without traffic before,
yes.
And the second it's wild. At the second you hit it on a major, it's different.
I barely knew what traffic was before coming out here.
Right. Man, I envy that, actually.
Because I wasn't from the cities either. I was like, I was from a town of 750 people. So, wow. And I went to college in a town of like 4,000 or 5,000 people. So,
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, before I continue doxing myself here. But a lot of people in the chat here. With Peachy Kina says, would you do like a Bandcamp daylist song where viewers send in their music? I would. I would. For sure. I've discussed like having submissions where like viewers can like do a submission day or whatever, and I will do like a listen along of like suggested stuff. I know that will likely end up with it just being like a bunch of bands showing up and having me listen to their records, which is fine. Yeah, but I mean at the same time, like if any fans or stuff are like, oh, I really like this band, you should check them out, I'd be on board with that. I need to find some free time because like right now I keep booking people back to back just because I'm just like I got to do it now or I might like miss my chance or something. Right. So because I've been trying to get Bartis on here too, and he agreed to do it, but he's super busy.
One of the busiest people.
Yeah, he's super busy. He's either like always working on his own music or producing other people's records, or like now he's getting ready for his tour or whatever. It's like a whole bunch of stuff.
Just a constant stream of him just updating like the world on like, well, I'm doing this and this and this and this, and it's definitely understand how it might be hard to find time. So trying to get Bartis and Jimmy was a hard get as well, because there's certain people I just like I have a hard time like reaching out to because maybe their DMs are closed on Twitter, or they don't follow me or whatever, but or I don't have an email, or I don't have a like And I got Aunt Jimmy because of Father-Daughter Records. Oh, that's sweet.
Because they like saw that I tweeted at Aunt Jimmy and they were like, hey, this is a good idea.
Yeah, straight up.
Hell yeah. Okay, hold on. I'm going to try and catch up here. I think people are I would absolutely go podcast, good dream. I think that's when I was talking about my dream show. Which was y'all, Origami Angel, Glass Beach, Pink Shift, Jiraiya.
Forget Gami, forget Glass Beach.
Ryland,
William. Let's go. That's it. That's the show. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to catch up on chat here. So many people were saying stuff. Yeah. Okay. That's all right. But yeah, we're pretty much done. I mean, like, I would love to have you back on to do Gami Gang. That'd be super cool. At some point. It doesn't have to be soon, or it could be. Who cares?
I'll be open. Honestly, whenever, I know you have like stuff booked up. I'll let you figure out all the schedule stuff.
I'm booked through June, and I have July onwards free. So
July might be interesting. I'm not so sure like where we'll be.
It's all good. Yet. It's all good.
We can, just as long like make sure you're not doing, overloading yourself. And then once you're in a good space to like think, of the future, we can make something work for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, it was so funny. In order to reach out to like some like Chris Farron and some of these bands, I asked for Jamie Coletta's help.
Right.
And you were on the list of people that I was going to have Jamie like reach out to for me. Because I had like DM'd you and hadn't like heard back. And literally I was like penning the email to Jamie and you got back to me. And I was and so I was like, oh, got to remove that one.
Right. That's funny. Honestly, yeah. Like I think when I saw like the first DM, it's like since the record drop, and even before then, I've been going on Twitter like every 2 days, maybe even every three. So like I'd seen it, I was like, oh, this is so cool, because like I've seen like the other ones and just like in passing on tweets and stuff like that. I was like, well, honestly, we got to do it. So like I'm glad you didn't have to third party it, but it would have happened either way, because if Jemmy was like, do this, I would have been like, oh, for sure. Like, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, hell yeah. This was great. I really have nothing else to say right now. I just I love your music. Thanks for coming on. Thanks everybody in the chat for listening.
Likewise,
along.
Yeah, same. And I'm really happy to thank you so much for like having me on here to sit through this and like talk about it. It's just it's really cool. Like I said, it's something I've seen a lot about, and it's just like I'm glad to be doing it. Thanks to everybody who like tuned in. Thanks to anyone who hadn't listened to us before and now gave us a shot, even if you didn't love it. Thanks for giving us a shot.
And if you did love it, you're in luck, because there's more. Because Gami Gang, listen to Gami Gang if you liked this and you hadn't yet, or anything, because we will have Ryland and like hopefully Patrick on as well.
Yeah, that'd be super sick.
To talk about it, like, and do another listen along. I would love that. Every time you release a record, just like book a listen along with me.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
The only pitch for Gami Gang, if you haven't heard it, is it's like this but twice and also sad sometimes.
Yeah.
So if you want that, that's what it is.
It's like this but twice and sad sometimes. Yeah. It's really great. I love Gami Gang so much.
Thank you.
It's an excellent follow-up. Okay, I'm gonna go to the talk stream. I'm gonna do a little bit of a spiel to get us out of here. They'll still be able to hear you. They won't be able to see you.
Cool.
Say bye to Ryland, everyone. Just the visual of Ryland.
Bye, y'all. You don't see this anymore.
Okay, well, thank you, everybody. Again, this will be on the Second Glass Beach channel in a VOD form. You can find that in a playlist called Listen Along. That is where all of the episodes that I've done so far are, including the one I did with Dogleg, Harmony Woods, Cheek Face, Pink Shift, so on and so forth, forever and eternity. I really, really want to thank Origami Angel again for doing this, Ryland for being here. Thank you everybody for being here in the chat as well. One last time, ! Listen in the chat. We'll pull up 3 links. Those 3 links are Origami Angel's Bandcamp, where you can find Somewhere City, the Counterintuitive Bandcamp, where Gami Gang is, and also the merch store, where you can buy vinyl, or you can get the merch. There's like sweatpants, t-shirts, all sorts of stuff. I encourage you, if you liked what you heard today, please, like, if you have the means, do it. Get some merch. Buy the vinyl, buy the digital album. If you don't like having physical stuff, if you don't like clogging up your life with physical products, then
I definitely understand that.
Then absolutely, like, purchase the digital album. And I mean, like, the big thing I would say is continue, at the very least, if you don't have like money, continue streaming this song. Because and the big thing, whatever streaming service you use, follow the bands you like on it. Like, use the follow button, because I think people forget that exists, and it'll make it easy for you to see when they release music, and it makes us look good to business people.
Yeah. Sucks.
Unfortunately.
The thing that shouldn't have to happen, but it definitely does have to happen at some point, where it's tough. But yeah, every follow matters. And shout out to the person who just bought the record for $666. $6.66, not $666. Someone just paid a significant portion of a monthly rent in College Park. But $6.66. I appreciate it. Great meme, and thank you to that person. I appreciate it. I won't dox you, but thank you.
Hell yeah. Okay, cool. Again, next week I am going to have Chris Farron on, and we're going to be covering Born Hot. We're going to be doing a listen along of that. So if you're interested in Chris Farron, if you like the album Born Hot, please join us for that. If you are unfamiliar with Chris Farron and unfamiliar with the album Born Hot, you can give it a little bit of a listen this week. Or you can come in completely green and listen to it for the very first time along with us next Saturday. I promise you, it is a worthwhile record. It's some nice power pop bedroom stuff. Chris Farron is like really good, and it has a little bit of like some 80s like synthwave homage in this record as well. That is really fun. Really exciting, very emotional at times, and Chris is a great lyricist, great producer, and a great composer and artist in general. I've been a big fan for a while, so I'm excited for that one. It's going to be great. And he also has a pretty interesting online personality, like persona. So I'm interested to see what that listen along is going to be like, because it's going to be extremely different than like today's. I would say, for sure. Yeah. So check that out. I do these Saturdays at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Midwest time, the Central, and yeah, that's gonna be happening next week. After that is Rat Boys, and we're listening to Happy Birthday Rat Boy. And after that is hopefully again single checked in and Jimily, and we're gonna be doing Give or Taker for that one. And then I'm taking a break on June 19th because it's Juneteenth, and I don't want to be streaming that day. And then the following Saturday after that, I'm having Bad Moves on to do Untenable. Love Bad Moves too. Yeah, that's huge. And I might have the entire band for that one. It's
nice.
Yeah, unclear, but I think they said that all of them are going to be available. But who knows? Cool. Yeah. So that's what to look forward to. Thank you again, everybody. The VOD, again, will be up on the Second Class Beach channel, and that should be it. Exclamation point, listen, buy merch, do the stuff, everything. I will see you next week, hopefully, and have a good rest of your week till then. Bye, everybody.